anymore. I didn't want to stare into their black, soulless eyes. And then things finally went black for me. And that was the memory I was left with.
Did you have a feeling that some say that they are a servant class of I won't use the word droid, but I'll throw it out there to give you the impression. Are they a race unto themselves?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I've only seen them. I mean, I've done lots and lots of research into the entire subject matter of UFOs and ETs ever since, well, the Silver Disc encounter. It's become a very active part of my life. I have to try and come up with reasons on why things are occurring as they are, if not for me, for everybody else, to help them see what's going on. And from what I see, I mean, people laugh at the thought of reptilians, the species reptilians, but they seem to be a very predominant species in the early part of our history in this world, and now it's not that way. It seems to be the greatest.
Then is it possible that the reptilians or whatever are using this race to do their experimental work, because you've had so many, different objects and different craft. I don't know how many they might have, but just looking at that aspect of it and thinking, and then you bring up the reptilians.
Yeah. Hang on, Brian. We'll be right back in just a minute. Okay, let's get back to a very interesting life. This young man, Todd, has lived through things that would leave a lot of people just mute. Fortunately, he is not, and he is sharing an amazing amount of material with us, and would like to hear more. Todd, please.
I'm not really sure where I should pick up from, because I know we're kind of limited for time, and I have so many encounters that I do want to share. But
another half an hour, so just get to as many as you can.
Okay. The next encounter that I had was later on during the year. I was with a friend of mine, my best friend that I was building that log home with, or resurrecting it with. We had gone out to Ontario, east of Manitoba, to do some transport of logs for a friend of ours. And we were coming back and just into the Manitoba border once again, heading west. It was around 7:30 at night, August 27th to be exact. So the sky was clear, and there was still much light out. It wasn't near dark yet. And I had looked up to the sky to the north and above, and I saw this backwards C shape in the sky. It was white. At first, I thought a contrail from a jet or something, or a very strange-looking cloud. And I watched it for a few minutes, and it didn't seem to dissipate, and it was staying this exact same, and it seemed to be almost moving. As my buddy was driving along, I pointed up to him, and I said, "What do you think that is?" And he really didn't have any idea what to make of it either. I'd never seen anything like it. It was pretty high distance up. I would say probably around the height of a jet airliner. But as we were traveling, I noticed that it was gaining distance from us, and we were traveling at approximately 110 kilometers an hour, and it was still gaining distance. I ended up watching this for about 45 minutes, trying to come up with what it could be. I actually watched this large jet airliner pass right by it. It was heading east while this object was heading west. And it came so close, there was no way that the pilots or anybody on the jet could have missed seeing it. It just seemed like, I thought to myself, how could they just, not see that?
Right.
So I sat there watching it with my buddy as we continued driving west, and it continued to pull away from us, heading in the same direction. It never altered course. And eventually it just got so far away we lost it in the horizon. And I found it to be a very peculiar sight. but it wasn't near as near as other things that I had seen, but still one for my books anyway. A little while later, we'll go up to September 2nd in 2005. Summer was coming to an end and fall was already setting in, and I had been working on the cabin all day with my buddy. We went to the south end of the lake for a quick supper and a shower at the campground down there, since we don't have the luxury of that kind of stuff on the north side. And we were traveling north after we had our food and showers, and we're heading back to the cabin. And we were coming up to the property. We just came on top of a hill when all of a sudden my buddy slammed on the brakes. He was the first one to see this in the sky, and he said, "What is that?" I looked over, and just hanging above the north side of our lake, pretty much where our cabin is, our campsite is, was this very large orange sphere. And it was probably about 40 yards above the north shore, and how big it was is really hard to say. It was larger than our cabin, and our cabin's 25 feet by 25 feet. So I'd probably about 40 feet across, at least 40 feet in diameter. And it seemed to be orange itself. It wasn't glowing orange light, but the object itself, the sphere itself, seemed to be orange. So
well, that's okay. Now you couldn't see through it. It wasn't translucent. It appeared to be solid, right? You have seen so many of the classic shapes, objects that I can remember. It's just remarkable, Brian Vike, that one man could have this many and this varied an experiential ledger. I mean, he's seen it all.
You know, I tell you, every time I see something new, it doesn't stop shocking me, and my heart rate still starts pounding, and you know, it's all very. Each time is a new experience. It's never the same. I know that, and I really never know what to expect, and I certainly never am comfortable around it when it happens at all.
I understand. So they haven't, and they're all we can do is guess, but. Let's say there are several different groups. They have not endeared themselves to you. Or is there one of these experiences, is there one event that has left you feeling okay?
Okay?
Yeah, okay. Not repulsed, not disgusted, not like you don't want to do it again. I mean, they're always exciting and scary, and you get your heart rate going. But have you had the feeling that any of these beings are friendly and kindly toward you, or is it all business?
Well, no. I'll say that they're here because they have to be. They're responsible for our being here. They're not here to be our protectors or our watchers. They will intervene apparently at times, but they're not here to be our saviors by any means. And what I was left with during one of my encounters, I'm going to say, seeded with knowledge of things to come. I won't say I was told it because I was never told it, but it was placed inside of me.
All right. Well, hang on, Todd, if you would, please. And you're stepping into the area that most people want to hear about, the future. And whatever you think it may or may not be, we're all ears. So if you'd like to share that with us, and we'll do that in just a few minutes. So hang on. It's quite an amazing story. Todd is our special guest. Okay, Todd, let's kind of go along with your statements that you were given a sense of where we were headed, potentially, on this planet.
Yeah, I was seeded with knowledge, and that's the best I can say. I wasn't actually told anything. Well, if I was, I don't remember it. I just had it
right
inside of me. And what I know through them is that there is an event to come, and it will be